Whatever just happened, I'm dying laughing.
I was talking on the double.
Listen, I was, and I know the people are probably like, what are they laughing at? Y'all couldn't see behind the scenes what I can see, but it was super hilarious. Nevertheless, hey, Gems, hey, gents, happy Wednesday. It's Natima Sheree, Queen Pin of TGI and the Diamond Writers.
And it's me, Tiffany Mathias, the one true Phoenix.
And we are back with another episode, the final episode of Hustle and Shine for season 3 and for 2023. Tiff, how are you? What's going on? Are you ready for the holidays? Christmas shopping done? What's up?
So this year I have decided not to indulge um on the gifts like I normally do and have opted into the experiences. So yeah, my family, they're gonna get some little like trinkety, some tchotchkes and all that other stuff. But I've decided to actually like take them to do things, so throughout the year. I'm just tired of like busting my head trying to figure out what to get. Online shopping, I am so mad right now with some vendors. I ain't gonna put them on blast, but I tried some new vendors for what is that, Cyber Monday, and one bag I bought bags. One bag, I keep getting emails from customer service saying like due to high demand, there's backlog on getting orders out and all this other stuff. And then another bag, it was in transit for the longest time. I just got the notification that it was available. All I'm gonna say
Was it
is that,
Telfar?
huh?
Telfar bags?
Telfar is the one that I got the notification today that my
No,
bag is finally available to pick up.
no, I know that because I've been waiting on my bags since they put them all on sale back in November. Everyone was
Mhm,
available in November. I just got notification that they're shipping mine. And then their new denim bag came out like
mhm.
2 weeks ago. I ordered that same thing. I'm like, what's what? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then nope. And then the other one, I'm not gonna say we putting them on blast. The other one is tote and carry. I've been like,
Okay.
and this bag is fire. It's like royal blue, crocodile. It's like
It's all the things. You need to have it.
when my bag come, it's gonna be
Right.
sitting next to me in the next episode.
No, that's fine. It needs to be a whole guest on the show because of what it took to get the damn bag. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. But I love that. I love the experiences over gifts. Like I like that. And if I had different children, I'd try that. But the way my princesses are set up, nope. Because my gonna be like experience, give me a gift. So I couldn't, it wouldn't work.
Oh, see, they don't know that's what's happening yet.
Okay. Oh, it's a whole setup. I'm gonna pray for you because look, Jade, and Indigo don't play. I think Sienna will be cool, but the other two they don't play. So and Legend, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna take it.
First of all, that 5-year-old talking about he want an iPhone,
Period.
he want AirPods,
You heard
he
them.
needs he needs something else. I'm like, you 5 years old.
He
You
said
need
what he
this
said.
bowl, you need these crayons and this coloring book. Like, who are
No,
you talking to?
no, he said what he said. He said what he said. That's what he needs. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. Get the boy what he needs. Listen. So, nevertheless, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. We want to definitely send some love to Mel V, the MV Pin, who is en route. She is driving, and so she will not be joining us tonight, but she certainly sends her love to all of you, our gems and gents, and she'll be with us in the new year when we kick off season 4. Oh my gosh. Like we are literally at season 4. I mean,
But
really?
but you know what? In the infamous words, because it was kind of mentioned like, oh, it's like a mid-season break and all that other stuff, and you were like, no, we got some stuff in the works, so it's going to be season 4. And you know whose voice came to mind when you said that? Tabitha Brown, because that's our business. So
Because
hey, Auntie Tab.
thank you, T. Look, thank you, TB. No, seriously. I thought about just doing a mid-year pause and all the things, but the consultant that I've been working with, she's amazing. At first, I didn't like her. Y'all remember? And I
Yeah.
listen, ain't no shade because she knows. Because y'all know I'm gonna be honest. If I ain't gonna be nothing else, I'm always be light skinned and honest. Okay. And I let sis know, like, I don't like you. I was like, I don't like you. I don't like that I have to work with you. But now that we're on the same page and I see her vision and she understands my vision, we have aligned and we are working so much better together. And so she gave me some really great strategies on how to rebrand, relaunch, and really just show people that we are serious about this platform and everything that we're going to do. Bringing the lighter topics in conversation, bringing some of the trendy. And that was a growth moment for me because I hate trends. I absolutely,
Mhm.
but I do understand her point in that sometimes you have to play the game, you know what I'm saying, to change the game. So I'm like, all right, let's play this stupid ass game of trends and cliches and all the things. But we're gonna do it. And I'm gonna adjust and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So I'm super excited.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, look, I said that's gonna have to be Tima from New York, because that's that version. She gonna pop out. But nevertheless, y'all stay tuned. Thank y'all so much for, of course, your consistency, your loyalty. It is not easy trying to build a brand on integrity. Um, yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. It's just not easy, but y'all have made it worthwhile. So thank you. So look, y'all, tonight is a chill episode. We're just taking a look back. What all happened in 2023 that we want to talk about? There's a lot that happened in 2023. We don't really care to talk about all of it, but the stuff we do want to talk about, that's what we're gonna chat about tonight. So tonight is all about a look back. We're gonna start with January and bring you all the way through to December. If you remember an event or an occurrence or something major that happened in media or politics or entertainment and we forgot it, drop it in the comments so that we can mention it on the show. Definitely be sure to share, like, subscribe, okay? Do all the things for this episode and future episodes. Make sure that you hit the notification bell, because when we come back in the new year, we're going to have a new episode every week, okay? And we don't want y'all to miss that. In the meantime, definitely revisit old episodes, share those old episodes, check out the website, www.diamondwriters.com. See what we got going on with the goings on. All right. So,
Hmm.
Tiff,
I'm ready.
I'm ready. All right. We're going to start off with January. Well, first of all, January is my birthday. So, enough said, right?
Right.
Yeah. January is the Queen Pen's birthday. That's right, January 7th. So y'all can send gifts to, I'm just kidding. But what I took away
PO
from,
box.
huh?
PO box.
P.O.
Once
Box, Atlanta, Georgia. Or you can have it shipped to store and I'll pick it up. But no, seriously, what I took away from January, which I thought was super dope, was the Golden Globes. We had some really big wins for some of our Black stars. One in particular that I was so proud of was the new show, Abbott Elementary. They won for Best New Comedy Series, which they so deserved. I don't know if y'all watch that show, but it's hilarious. It is quite funny. And I love the creativity of it. That it's the perspective of educators in the inner city. They're teaching out of Philly and what that looks like. And to me, it really just shows such a new, sincere appreciation for educators and teachers and all those who work in education, because it ain't easy. Half of y'all don't like dealing with your own damn kids. Can you imagine a teacher that got 20 of y'all kids every day? Oh Lord, y'all miracle workers. But anyway, we had a lot of wins. I think, how do you pronounce her name? Is it Quinta? Quinta
Winter
Brunson.
Brunson.
Yes, she won Best Actress. And
Hmm.
Tyler James Williams, he won Best Supporting Actor. And then
Hmm.
Angela Bassett, she won Best Supporting Actress for her role in Wakanda Forever. So really, really dope wins in January for that team. Another thing, this was near and dear to me. Some of y'all may not relate, may not care, but SZA released the official video to Kill Bill. Now, I don't know
Oh,
if y'all know about that, but that's a track. Y'all might want to get that. I think it showed just how crazy sis is. Like, she different. She's eclectic musically, but she a little off. But I love it. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like this. It's like
she,
Kendrick
she's too
Lamar.
serious.
Yeah, she's like the female Kendrick Lamar. Maybe not as much talent as he has, but like she just has this different perspective on life, and you see it in the video. The video was super dope though. But anyway, I remember
Mhm.
that dropped in January and I was excited about it. What else happened in January, Tiff? Anything else interesting that popped off in January?
Did I have any? I don't think I had anything in the January. I know I was. I don't do the New Year, New Me thing because I consider can't wait to talk about August.
Oh yeah, we
Everybody like, oh, you're a year older. I'm a day older. Like I love my solar return, but I don't feel a year older. So the new year came in, and that really like stuck in my head. Now, as we go down the list, because I shared the list with you, Mel shared the list with you. I got some other things to talk.
talk about. Okay. No problem. All right. So January, that was plenty. If y'all remember anything in January that we did not mention, y'all go ahead and drop it in the comments. We would love to chat about it or at least highlight it because you're interested in it. But that's all that I had for January. All right, moving on
Yeah.
to February. What popped off in February? First of all, one that hurt everybody's heart. Damn Netflix. They changed their password policy. Yeah. Now I got my own
So
Netflix account, but for my peoples who borrowed my Netflix login, they was calling me like, "Sis, I can't get on." I was like, "That ain't my fault." Netflix was like, "It's enough,
so
Netflix
the,
and chill. Y'all are done with that."
right. So the funny thing is, literally tonight, as I was getting on the train, Indigo calls me and she's like, "Ma, it's telling me that the television I'm on is not part of the family thing." And so I was with Sienna, and Sienna was like, "Because your ass is in South Carolina."
Period. You can't get on this Netflix account.
But it's crazy. Like, so that makes me wonder, though. You know how? Remember when we had the diamond retreat? We were able to use our stuff to get on to and watch Power and all that other stuff. So you mean to tell me I can't travel and take my Netflix with me because my TV is registered in
I think that's where Netflix is going to have to make some adjustments. They're going to have to pivot back because for that very reason, majority of these Airbnbs, hotels, they all have smart TVs and allow you to log in your own Hulu, your own, Paramount, whatever you have. So yeah, Netflix gonna have to adjust that. They gonna have to fix that.
Yeah, because she's still part of our family network. Like just the fact that she went to South Carolina and she's not here in New York with us doesn't mean she's not part of our family plan. Like she is on there. She has her own profile. It says Little Miss Mom. So
Yeah. So Netflix, if y'all watch this, I doubt you do, but if you do, can y'all please revisit that policy because it's kind of stupid. Like we don't like it. Coming from a Netflix user, we don't like your policy. So change that. But nevertheless, they did make that big change and we saw a decline in subscriptions, not the uptick that they were looking for. So they're going to have to fix that. But we also
they,
saw.
they have been putting some they have been putting some quality programming though. So I am gonna say that,
Yeah,
so it's like
yeah, yeah,
I,
it's
I
fair.
still want I still want my daughter to be able to be on the family account because she is family. She
Seriously.
put it
Exactly.
back.
Exactly. Yeah. So hopefully they'll fix that for us. The other really big thing that we know happened at in February was Super Bowl halftime performance.
No,
Miss
Riri.
Miss Riri, my boo thing. I love me some Rihanna, but she revealed that she was pregnant yet again. And her fans, we were kind of hot about it. And selfishly, we were pissed because we knew that meant we were not getting a new album. Like, nope, nope. She about to be on mommy duty.
Let me let me tell you how simple my behind is, right? Because I was like, look at her out here performing and she's still carrying her baby weight. Like, and and everybody in the living room turned around and looked at me and was like, girl, how much you been drinking? That is a new baby bump.
Wait a minute, you thought that was residual baby from the first boy? Girl,
Absolutely.
girl.
Listen, 9 months on, 9 months off.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, of course, she was glowing. She looked amazing. Congratulations, of course, to her and her fine man. Oh, let me stop. Let me behave because that dude,
Mhm.
that ASAP. Hey, honey. No, I love him. I love
Should
me
I
some.
get you some? Maybe I should send you for your birthday some Prince and Mercer.
Please,
That's his cognac brand, right? Prince and
I'll take
Mercer.
it. I'll take it.
Okay,
Yes,
I got that for
absolutely.
you.
Yeah. So, anything else happened in February that you want to touch on before we move on?
February. No. And I can't even see my notes right now because I'm on my phone because technology won't let me be great on the other devices. So
Well, this one, I'm honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I'm skipping past January, February because I really want to get to March.
okay,
Okay.
let's get to
So
March.
March, Jonathan Majors. Y'all know how I feel about him. He he is my hall pass. Okay, so to my future husband, Jonathan Majors is the only one. No, I'm lying. Method Man is the only one that I will ever. Okay, but Jonathan Majors arrested. Um, Apparently there was an assault. He hit his ex girlfriend because Megan Good is the new bae, and lost a ton of endorsements. I think he was also released from his management company, wasn't he? Or his
He he was released from his management company,
his PR company, right?
his PR team. He was also Marvel, because he had some key roles in Marvel. Which, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
if you watch Loki, like he plays the same character, like in different dimensions. Like he's a brilliant actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was supposed to be part of this next wave of Marvel universe and all that other stuff, and they had to hit the drawing board. Now, as we were talking just before we came on, the
Mm-hmm.
video was released today in court of what actually happened. Now, we supposed to believe her or our lying eyes?
That part. But here's the thing. Here's why I wanted to talk about this. What irritates me most about media, particularly as it impacts the Black community, we are sheep minded. I'm sorry, folks. I love you. No shade, but we are what we are. We're very sheep minded. We immediately jump on the bandwagon. Oh, he must have did it. He's guilty. Oh, yes, he deserves to lose everything. And I'm like, yo, we don't even know the whole story. We haven't seen anything. We haven't heard anything. We're literally going off of this word. And how many decades have Black men suffered at the lies of white women? Like, let's just keep it a stack. I'm sorry. Do I need to talk about Emmett Till? Do I need to talk? I mean,
We
there
gonna
are plenty of men.
talk about that later. She on my list. I remember that.
I'm jumping. But my point is, I hate the way we responded to that. Now, there are some cases where men are abusive, where they're an assault charge is viable and belongs, it should stick. But in this case, I feel like we just went from 0 to 10 without anything in between. And he suffered from it. But now that the tables have turned and the truth has come out, and she is now the one who's been arrested, where's his apologies from these companies? Where's his apologies from media? He's never gonna, and that's what irritates me. How we can sour his career, how we can sour his reputation, and no one has to be held accountable. Like, so it's just that he's supposed to get over this? Like, oh my, our bad. Like, is that how we're supposed to handle that? I don't know. In my opinion, your older sister. Because I promise you this, if it was one of my brothers, he ain't got to put his hands on her. I got you, bro. I got you. You ain't got to worry about no assault charge because it's going to be a fight, okay? And it's going to be me and her because you can't do that. Like, I just don't think that's cool. So I'm really glad that he is getting his day in court. I'm really glad that his story is being heard. His side of the story is being heard. And I really do hope that justice is served. I hope that this turns out in his favor. And if she belongs in jail, however long that is, that's what she's supposed to get. And that's all I'm going to say about that because I don't need nobody coming for me. You know how folks like to jump in my DMs. Well, Tima, we don't agree. I don't care. Okay. And I'm just not in the mood tonight. Respectfully, I don't care what you think or what you agree with. I think it was wrong. And I'm glad that we have the video proof that she's insane. Because here's the thing, sis was running in heels. I do some of my best work in heels, and I can't run down the street like that in heels. And I'm a track star. Like, what the hell? I said, yo, she's the bionic woman. Sis was out, ran into traffic, everything trying to get to him. I'm like, yeah, you're nuts. Like, you a different level of crazy. So anyway, those are my views on that. I think the girl's nuts. So that's what I'm gonna say. I think she's crazy. What else happened in March? What else went down in March? I can't remember. What else?
You got to look at my notes. I don't remember March.
I can't look at my notes, so we're gonna skip it. All right. Let's take a moment, jump in the comments. Let's see who's in the building. Y'all know when you're here, please let us know that you're here. We love to hear from you. We love to engage with you. We love your comments, your feedback, whatever. Just let us know that you're in the building. So let's first see who here. Oh, I already see my sisters here. I love it. Hey, T. Welcome to Hustle and Shine. Thanks for being here. Hey, Neil. He says, I'll be sending my gift. Thank you. Okay. Size 8 in shoes, size any color in purses, and size any amount in food gift certificates. Okay. I'm telling you, I'll take it. Oh, and Barnes and Nobles, you can forget about it. Go crazy. Go off. Go
Did
off.
you?
Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining. Shell Matt. Hey, Mama. Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Oh, shoot. Hey, stranger. How you doing, Mr. Turkmans? As long as they don't shut off your air. Bruh, are you still on my Amazon account? Oh, come on. That's crazy. Thanks for being here tonight, though. Thanks so much for supporting the show. We really appreciate you. Another one from Tiara. She says, yeah, it's going in and out. Our bad. We will fix the internet. I don't know what's been going on with the internet. Tanisha says,
It just won't let me be great.
I know, right? Sheep minded is facts. Yes, Tanisha, thank you so much for being here tonight, sis. We appreciate you. Who else is in the building before we get back to the show? Hi, Daisha. Thank you for the love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Sean, for the love. We appreciate it. Neil says, noted. I appreciate you. Hey, Marlene. Thank you for the love, Mama. All right, so look, we getting ready to move on to April. We're gonna get through this quick, y'all. It's not gonna be a long show. We got stuff to do. Okay, we got things to do. We got gifts to wrap. Speaking of myself. All right, so April, lot went down in April, specifically for our community. The Diamond Writers, we released our third publication. Number 3, Valid Transparency dropped April. What day did it come out? April something. Ooh, that's terrible, Natima. That's terrible. Diamond, somebody drop it in the chat. When did the book come out? Y'all know I'm doing too much. I've been sipping too much coquito tonight.
Let me hop over here to Amazon and go and look it up because it was.
I think it was like April something, but it was in April, and we were very proud of it.
It was April because we all converged on Atlanta in May, so it was definitely April.
It was definitely April. Yes. Listen, no more coquito tonight because I can't even remember when my own book was released. That's terrible.
That's what you said. I'm gonna keep drinking.
Look, you keep drinking your coquito. I'm done. Like no more for me. Like no more. No more anything for me. No more shots. No more nothing. All right. So no, but we were super, super proud of this. The reason this book was really important to us. One, we had new diamonds who had joined the community and who were sharing their stories for the first time. And then also, this was a baby of mine. It was a vision that I received and a dream to write this book, to release this anthology, to name it Valid Transparency, and to create the platform where women can speak from an authentic, vulnerable, and transparent space. And so that's exactly what this book is about. If you don't have it, what are you doing? Like, if you don't have valid transparency, what? How? Really? Stop. Men can read it, women can read it, children can read it. Is it a PG-13? Never mind, children can't read it. But you can summarize it for a child. But you should be reading the book. It is super, super dope. The stories are amazing. The women are brave and courageous, and I just adore them. So quick shout out to my Diamond Writers. Thank you so much for your stories, for your vulnerability, for your transparency, for your courage, for your audacity. It takes an audacious, confident woman to tell her story for public consumption. That means people's opinions, people's judgments, people's assumptions. All of that can come from your chapters, and you didn't give a damn. You wrote it anyway. And so I send much love to all of you, my diamonds. We are doing so much more in 2024. So y'all make sure that y'all stay tuned for our 2024 release. But clap it up for our 2023 release, Valid Transparency, that hit the shelves in April. So
April
it's still available.
17th.
It was April 17th. Thank you. It is still available. You can get it on Barnes& and Nobles, Amazon.com, and DiamondWriters.com. Make sure y'all go cop that. Great, great read.
And
That's all I
please,
think I had.
oh,
Go ahead.
wait. Don't go away from there. Since we on Valid Transparency, please, if you have read the book,
Mhm.
please go and review it. Give it some stars. Give us
Please.
some feedback. Let the
Yeah.
people know that these books are out here because we keep pouring ourselves into the universe, and the universe is like, okay, the universe is like, okay, thank you. Or maybe they're not even saying thank you. Maybe they're just like, okay. But no,
Yeah.
we need in order for us to blow up the way that everybody feels that we should blow up, more people need to know that we're out here.
That's
Um, Sierra and I were just at an event. We went to meet a social media influencer here in Brooklyn, and it was at this quaint little tea shop
okay.
here in Brooklyn. Yes, it was absolutely great meeting her. And I decided, I was like, do I give her the book or do I took that book and I put it right on the bookshelf in the tea shop. Here you go. And
Period.
hopefully it gets into the hands of somebody who would need to. So I think I'm going to make it my business up until we release our next book, like to
Mhm.
just travel to little coffee shops, little tea shops, some local bookstores, some small ones, and just
Mhm.
leave a copy.
I love that.
Just, just leave a copy
I love
because somebody needs these books and they're going to be like, where do I get the next one? Yeah,
that.
here it comes.
Here it come. I love that. Absolutely. So look, I'm going back to the videotape to see if I missed anything for April. I don't think I did, but I'm gonna
No,
just double check just in case. I'm gonna be fair. Let me see what else was popping off in April for y'all. Oh, the chick who lied. I was just talking about her. The
wait, with the baby?
no, the woman who lied on Emmett Till. On Emmett Till, she died in April.
It was April. Okay, so yes. Um, yes. Went on to wherever she went on without even a deathbed confession that she lied on this young man, um, causing one of the greatest travesties in US history, but was also pivotal in moving forward with the civil rights bill and everything like that. And I'm still confused as to how it's 2023 and we still don't have an anti-lynching bill in effect, but we can save that for another show and another day.
Girl, that's all I'm gonna say is but yeah. I would say her name, but I don't want to. But y'all know who
We're
she
not,
is.
we're
Y'all
not
know,
going to invoke that. We know who she is.
right? She gets no love on this page. But yeah, that also happened in April. So there's that. All right, moving on to May. As we just alluded to, May was the Diamond Standard ATL. We have to take a moment to just talk about how amazing that event was.
It really was.
It really was our best event. For those of you who are part of the Diamond Writer community, who are familiar with our work, who are familiar with the things that we're doing in the community to support, champion, and advocate for women and women healing through authentic storytelling, this was our biggest event. We started in the DC area, in the DMV with Sip and Shine, nope, Hustle and Shine. Then we
Hmm.
had our June event. Why am I back in January? Our June event in New York. We had a rooftop event. It was super, super dope called the Sip and Shine. When we began planning for the release of Valid Transparency, I knew I wanted to bring back gym class and I knew I wanted to introduce more speakers, bigger speakers with bigger platforms that would really draw more women to our event. And then, of course, create space for our very own One True Phoenix and MV Pen to also speak and share. The event exceeded my expectations in every way. And y'all know I'm a recovering perfectionist, right? So I struggle with I struggle with just letting things be, with just trusting the process. And so I was very hands-on, so much so that it was stressing me out and I had a breakout right before. Like all the things happened, but the event still turned out amazing. We had way more women in attendance than I anticipated. Such great feedback, great engagement. It just turned out perfectly. Like it literally was perfect.
Can I tell you, the vendors that were there for the Sparkle Shop were so amazing. And Red Lotus, that was the poet.
The poet.
First of all, I gotta find Sister's business card because I need some more of that scrub that I got from her. I used that scrub on my feet all summer, and when I tell you, I had no ashy heels, no
No,
cracked ankles.
silky,
Yes.
silky. Yeah.
Um, and it was really great. It was my first time as a diamond rider being on the on the podium and speaking, and I was so harsh and so critical on myself. Like I stepped down and I was like, my voice was cracking and breaking, and I was mad at myself about allowing my emotions to come in and just like, but then like immediately the feedback came in from the crowd, and I had people coming up to me and was like, what you said touched my heart, thank you so much. And I was apologizing for crying, and they were like, no, your tears were empowering. And see, that's when you know you're in the right space, because while I was sitting there self-sabotaging myself and critiquing myself to the utmost degree of like wrong, everybody only saw right.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it was beautiful to be in that space. But my takeaway was the weekend that we had as sisters, like
Mm.
our photo shoot, and karaoke was the bomb. I still laugh
Yeah.
at them videos when they come up.
No, you know what it was for me? It was the girl talk and hearing certain confessions out of some of y'all. I was like, oh, I didn't know if I wanted to know you in that way. I didn't know if I wanted to know you in that way, sis. But no, it was amazing. It was amazing. The sisterhood, the
When we
building.
said this was a safe space, people were like, oh, say no more.
Yes, you're right. They were like literally, literally. But it was amazing. It was really amazing. And of course, shout out to our MV Pin who did all the cooking. And oh my gosh, her chef skills was on point all weekend long. We ate really well all weekend long. It was such a dope event. I
Mhm.
think for me, being a visionary and being a leader, you have all these high hopes and these high expectations for the women entrusted to your leadership. You really want to deliver, you want to over deliver, and you want to create not just a safe space, but a rewarding space for them to
Mhm.
give what they've invested. So to see the videos and to hear from you all what what you took away from the weekend, it did my heart so good. And of course, I cried like a baby for days because it's like you think you're doing something great, but you don't know until you see the fruit in other people. There's a
Right.
lot of folks in the world doing things and influencing people to do things. But if there's no fruit, if there's nothing positive, there's no, positive outcome or result, then what are you really doing? And so I'm just super, super grateful for all of the diamonds and all of our gems and gents who came out to the event, who celebrated our third publication with us, who celebrated our growth as an organization, as a community. We are very grateful. All right, another really big thing that happened in May, the release of Disney's Little Mermaid, the remake. It was okay. Now, most people are mad at me because I didn't love it. My daughters didn't love it. I took my daughters to see it, and they both were like, you know. What I did love about the movie was the diversity. I absolutely love that they infused the Caribbean piece to it. There was a lot of diversity in it that I really enjoyed, but I wasn't overly excited about the film. And of course, when I shared that, people were like, "You're a hater." I'm like, "How though?" I just didn't love it. I didn't. But we're still really, really proud of the work that was done in that film and all the backlash that we received or the community received about the movie. I expected a lot of that. What about you, Tiff? Like, what's your views on that movie?
Um, the movie to me was what I thought a live action would be. I don't. There's something that is lost sometimes when, not just Disney, any production takes their original content, whether it's a cartoon or
Mhm.
whatever CGI, whatever it is, and then they turn it into live action. There's always something that's lost. It's kind of like for people such as yourself who love books, and then the book is turned into a movie, and you're like, it doesn't fully encapsulate,
Translate, right.
However, what I am going to say on top of the diversity is I love how the community is like, oh, y'all are mad that it's a black woman getting ready to be this mermaid. Watch us act up. And the way that
No, for real. No, true
watch
story.
like, the one thing you cannot do is tell black women they cannot do something because they're gonna be like, oh, watch us work. And the magic that I mean, women from babies in the stroller dressed as mermaids to the mama, the auntie, and the grandma showing up. They came out in full form. Mermaids had dreadlocks. They had afros. They had lace fronts. The mermaids were mermaiding all
Yeah,
over the place, and
yeah,
I loved it.
yeah.
I loved it.
That part I loved. What we did for the culture was amazing. Again, the film itself, I was like, Disney, y'all could have did better. That's just my opinion. That's not a shot at the cast. That is a complete criticism on Disney. I feel like Disney could
Mhm.
have done so much better on this film. They've done better on other films like Mulan and some of the Beauty and the Beast. I just feel like there wasn't enough done for this
See,
film.
I'm gonna tell you, live action Mulan and live action Beauty and the Beast were
That's what
and
I'm
that's
saying. That's how I felt about this one. It was like,
they they just don't. I like the cartoons. I like
yeah,
the
and live
cartoons.
action Lion King was like, But anyway, we're not gonna talk about that. All right. So that was May. We got to get
Hold
through
up,
the rest of these months,
wait
girl.
a minute. Let me backtrack because I
Okay.
think we missed something in April. Did
What?
Beyonce not start the Renaissance tour in April?
No, I think that was May.
It was May, so then we come, so we in it now.
Yeah.
Beyonce and the Renaissance tour, and
Yeah.
how Beyonce shifted global economies because people had to get tickets. People were flying to different countries to go and see this concert. People were
Mhm.
seeing multiple showings of the concert, and they were
Mhm.
getting attire to go to the concert. And so Beyonce ignited.
People were quitting their jobs. Do you remember the one chick on social media when she requested the PTO off and they said nah, and so she quit her job to go? Yeah.
Yeah, there were people who were showing up to the venue like on standby, like this isn't an American Airlines flight, like, but you cannot get will call for Beyonce, but people were getting will call to like where
Yeah.
there was a will, there was a way.
Yeah.
What I want to say about this is I believe it might have been when she went home to Houston.
Hmm.
It might have been in Cali. I know it was on the west side. There was terrible weather and they had to like postpone the show and everything, and like she was doing what she needed to do for her fans to be able to enjoy this concert. Like, I'm going to say this: the evolution of Beyonce as an artist is very impressive to me
Hmm.
because she went from teenage girl in a group, and then she went independent, and then now she is on this like empowerment for my people, like, and for me, I'm nobody's fan, but I appreciate what
Hmm.
she's doing with her artistry. I'm not going
Okay.
to argue who's a better singer than her, who's a better performer. What I recognize is her and her artistry, and that now
Does.
now she done had all these people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go and see the concert. And then she's like, okay, and now here's the movie. And people bought the movie tickets. And they're still dressing up to go to the movie.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. I am not a fan of Beyonce, not at all. I don't dislike her. I have several of her songs in my playlist, but I am not a fan. You will never see me pay to see her perform ever. Like I just won't. But I respect her as a businesswoman because that's really what she is. She's a hustler and a businesswoman. Like you said, when you can get people to pay hundreds and thousands of dollars to see you live and then put it in theaters and make money off of those partnerships and endorsements, and then people pay to see you. And I'm just waiting for Netflix to say, oh, and guess what we have coming to Netflix or Prime. I don't know which one is going to be, but one of the two of them will have you get, and she's making money hand over hand, fist over fist. So I'm not mad at the girl. I think today Forbes released that she's now worth $800 million. I think that's her net worth, I believe. They just released that today because I wake up and read Forbes. Like, I don't, Facebook is later. I jump right on Forbes every day. I need to see what's popping in this, what's cash flowing, who making money. But they said today that she's now worth, I believe it was 800 million. Wait, let me double check before I put some numbers out there that don't make sense. But I believe that's what it said. I believe that's what the article said. And so I respect her as a businesswoman. I think what she's doing is dynamic in terms of, her art form and the artistry of Beyonce. To me, it all sounds the same. That's just my opinion.
Yep.
Again, don't come for me, Beehive. I ain't in the mood. But it all sounds the same to me. Like, I have yet to hear a song that is different from the song before or from the album before. And what I mean is not lyrics. I mean like the anthem type, independent woman empowerment kind of, like, I can't really describe it, but it's just it all sounds the same. My fault. It all sounds the same to me. So nevertheless, I'm really happy for her success, and I think what she's doing is pretty dope from a business standpoint. And I'm gonna get back to y'all on that Forbes article that I read, but I could have sworn it said 800 million.
I got the laptop open over here. Let me just hit the next tab.
No, I was right. It just popped up. 800 million. I was right. Y'all know if I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna retain what I read. Y'all know I read a lot, so I'm always retain what I read. And I remember reading this morning, 800 million. So again, kudos to her. Super, super dope. All right, so that's everything we have for May. We're running out of time, so we got to get through the rest of these months and keep this episode going. So we're gonna talk about June. First off, one of the biggest things that happened in June for me, TGI, Transparent Gem Inc., celebrated 6 years in business. 6 years of business. I launched TGI, formerly Words Matter Co., in 2017, June 2017. I had a 1-year-old and an 8-year-old. I had just lost my house in a flood. I will never forget that. And yet here I go starting a business. It's like, girl, you don't even got nowhere to live. You starting a business. I was working at Oracle at the time. My career was going really well at Oracle. And I wanted to do this. I wanted to start this business where I support independent writers and authors and aspiring authors in telling their stories and bringing more Black stories to the market. That was my heart's desire. And so I launched, like I said, Words Matter Co. at the time. And then eventually I rebranded and renamed it Transparent Gem Inc. But 6 years, I celebrated 6 years in June. I have helped publish, almost 30 books. I have helped publish almost 30 books. I have contributed to even more books. I have co-wrote more books. So just the work that's happening for me in that space has been amazing. And so super, super excited. That was amazing. And then also in June, what's up with the Supreme Court ruling?
So here we go with this one here. So the Supreme Court overturned, why is my words are stuck right now, getting back. Affirmative action, declaring it wasn't fair to another community of people to have this advantage for this group of people, all stemming from the Asian community upset that they couldn't get into those top 1% universities, Harvard, Yale, all of those there. Mm-hmm. And then because their thought process was that because of affirmative action, it was Black students, unworthy Black students who were not getting into who were taking their spots, so they couldn't get into these schools. And what's crazy about it is that only still the top 1% of the Black students were the ones that were applying. So it wasn't like me and my C+ average self was the one that was taking your seat. It was I was a C+ student when I was in high school, but right. In college, I figured myself out. But yeah, right. It wasn't my C+ self that was taking a seat for you. But then wait for it. Affirmative action gets overturned. And the Asian community is still not getting into these schools. And now neither are the Black students or the Latino students or whatever it is. And what's been pointed out time and time again, due to how things play out, the biggest winner in affirmative action was white women. It was white women. It wasn't people that looked like us. So now it really felt like the Asian community, like all of us that were not white, it was a crabs in a barrel type of thing. And it was like, well, I can't get to the top, so neither can you. And now we're back 60 years.
Right. And pretty much what the overturn did was the implementation of, what was it called? Equal protection law or something like that.
Equal protection under the law.
Right. Right. And then for me, the only thing I think it did was impact our ability to now get into these universities and these colleges. And if you think about it, that's the whole reason it was affirmative action was implemented in the first place, because we were not getting these opportunities. And so I agree with you. I remember reading that and was just like, me working in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space, I was like, here's yet another hurdle that we have to get over, one that we thought we had already overcome. And so every time we get close to the finish line, they move the finish line. And so that's something that I really hope we start to understand, is that it's never going to end. It's going to be a continuum of us having to prove ourselves, us having to work twice as hard, us having to, you know what I'm saying, work to show that we're just as smart, that we belong. And so, listen, did it shock me? No more than it didn't shock me when thousands of Americans stormed the Capitol, and yet only half of them received any type of jail time. So nothing surprises me anymore. And this certainly didn't. It just makes me want to work that much harder. It just makes me want to do that much more to, to kind of work around some of these laws. So yeah. So eliminating affirmative action really sucks as it relates to university and colleges and admissions and things like that. And for those of you who are not familiar, who don't remember the story, you can Google it. It was in headlines for a couple of weeks in June into early summer, and it just really sucked. That's all I'm gonna say. Moving on to July. July was a great month for movies and entertainment. We saw a lot of blockbusters hit the movie theaters as well as Netflix. One in particular that I love, actually, I love both of these movies. I actually loved the Barbie movie. What I loved it for was not the feminism, not, the feminist piece. It was actually the opposite. What I loved was the reveal of how, because of the feminist movement, we created this toxic positivity around feminism. And I think that's what the movie exposed. Like, yeah, it was great, that women were empowered, but did some of that empowerment make us a little bit egotistical, biased, against ourselves and each other, not even against men, but against ourselves and each other. There was a monologue that the character Sasha, played by America Ferrera, does toward the end of the film. And it was the most amazing monologue. And she just talks about the plight of a woman and the challenge of a woman of any race, just being born female, and what we have to go through and endure in this country in particular. It was so powerful and so amazing. I was in the theater crying. Like, that was my favorite part of the entire film, because I can relate to every single thing that she said. Be strong, but not too masculine. Be independent, but not, not too standoffish. Be friendly, but not needy. Like, it's like we have to constantly juggle between the two extremes, that there is no safe middle ground for women. Now, some people may disagree with that, but that was just my take from the movie. What about you, Tiff?
No, I agree. And we like to throw around the term toxic masculinity, but what the movie did was expose toxic femininity. And the fact that, as you said, regardless of what race or religion or anything else, socioeconomic. Like, there's nothing that a woman will do in her life that's ever going to be right by most people's standard.
Right.
She's to this or not enough that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just never enough. And I personally experienced that for many years in my life. Like, waking up some days not knowing who the heck I was or who I was going to have to be at work in order to just get through that day's shift,
Yeah.
and not be in the office crying and everything like that. So yeah, I think it was great. And I actually took my youngest bonus son, to go and see it, and he thought it was good. It was a good movie too.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that it was like, this wasn't just for the girls. It's a movie, damn it. There's no
Mhm.
such thing as a boy movie and a girl movie. It's a movie. Like, go watch the movie, get the life lesson out of it.
Yeah.
Um, and then I see you have on there, they clone Tyrone. And I think that movie for some people was just way too deep
Yeah.
for them,
Yep.
because they cloned Tyrone aligned with Jamie Foxx's mysterious ailment. And then people were like, see, they cloned it. Bruh. Like, the fact that y'all are repeating that this stupidness
Hmm.
is pointing out what they mean about being a clone, or how you mentioned earlier in the episode, people being sheep minded, that there's always somebody out there perpetuating something, and you follow it.
Hmm.
Everybody thinks it's trendy, so we're going to do this, and everybody thinks and we're going to do that. And
Hmm.
so the point of the movie is to look internally and see where you are the clone in society.
Yep. Yep. That part.
And
And
people
like
miss
I said,
that.
it went
They thought
over.
it was about Jamie Foxx.
No, and it went over so many people's heads because, like you said, there were some surface level and some obvious things, but then there was a lot of subliminal, very Jordan Peele type of, you know what I'm saying, of messaging in the movie. I thought it was by far one of the dopest films ever. First of all, John Boyega, that dude. Oh my gosh, that boy can act his ass off. That's all I'm gonna say.
And it don't have nothing to do with him being chocolate.
It don't have nothing to do with him being chocolate. The boy just can act. But I have to say, like, what I loved most about the film, as you mentioned, was the gentleman who was behind it all was one of us. So that whole thing, that whole theory that, the people of power and those the powers that be,
The
they're
man got
always.
their foot on our neck.
And sometimes it be us because for the right price, we will turn on our own. We will disturb and disrupt and destruct in our own communities. And that was the biggest takeaway for me. And even the part about why they were being cloned. It's not necessarily the person that was being cloned, but what the person represented, the lifestyle, the toxic lifestyle, the fact that they had cloned the pimp, they had cloned the drug dealer. You get what I'm saying? Like that
Mhm.
destructive personality, they wanted to keep putting that back into the Black community. So I was just like, I really don't think people were catching that. Like it wasn't about Tyrone, but what Tyrone represented. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like the infestation that he represented in the Black community. So anyway, I just thought the film was super, super, super dope. Should have definitely received more acclaim than it did, but
You
like
know,
you
it
sidetracked with the
ruffled
whole Jamie Foxx being cloned. So
it ruffled some feathers. And again, the fact that Jamie simultaneously got sick detracted away from the
yep,
message,
yep,
and people caught the wrong thing. That
yeah,
wasn't what was being put into the air. But
right. We focused on.
such as life.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. All right. We are going to go to July and then we're going to come into the comments because I'm sure y'all going to be popping in these not July, August.
No, we're going in August.
August. I'm sure y'all going to be popping in these comments. Before we even touch the brawl, let's talk about hip hop celebrating 50 years. Let's give
And
hip hop a shine real quick because I already know Alabama Brawl is going to take over. But as someone who grew up, you know what I'm saying? I'm an 80s baby, but the 90s raised me. I grew up, to me, in the thick of hip hop's influence. One of the things that I constantly debate and argue with people is that hip hop is not a genre of music. It
It's a
truly
culture.
is a culture, because hip hop didn't just impact music, it influenced, the clothing industry. It influenced the way we dress. It influenced
Fashion,
jargon,
jewelry.
everything. It was
It made door
fashion.
knockers okay to wear.
Yes. Adidas and Kangos and, even our speech and our language, our jargon, all of those things were impacted by hip hop culture. Again, growing up in the 90s, my dad is a huge hip hop head. My dad's a huge, music fan. He's a musician. He's been in the music industry my entire life. I remember he would always tell us the impact that hip hop originally had in music, which was really just being a sounding board, and
Hmm.
an echo for issues happening in the Black community. It was the voice of Black people coming out of the Bronx, or wherever y'all want to say it started. I believe that's where they say it started. But anyway, that is pretty much how that whole culture began. And then it influenced movies and, like you said, fashion and all the things, all the lanes, all the streams. So we are super grateful, we being the Hustle and Shine podcast, for all the pioneers, all the artists, all the lyricists, all the talented folks that really helped push hip hop over the last 50 years. Now, some of these newer artists that fall under the genre of music that is called hip hop, no. But I don't have time for that. We need a whole episode to argue about that. I can't call current rap music. It's not, because the real definition of rap is rhythm and poetry. There is nothing rhythmic or poetic about the trash that is on the radios right now. Like, I'm sorry. So y'all need to come up with a new name for this, because it's mess. I don't know if it's
But
noise
it,
to a beat, or I don't know what y'all want to call it, but it's not hip hop. I'm sorry, it's not. It's just, and it's not rap either. It's not.
I mean, they under hip hop and rap and all that other stuff, you ended up getting the different, I don't want to call it genres, but the different little boutique styles. So right now, I think the kids call it drill music.
Okay.
So that, and before that, our generation, we were calling it mumble rap, because everything was like, so yeah. Drill music is what's happening right now. But
I just call it trash. So
there is a new music station up here in New York. I
yeah,
forgot what it's called. It's like 92 something or whatever. So, but it's only old school hip hop. And
amen. Amen.
I asked my husband, I was like, he's either listening to this or the Steve Harvey show, right? And I was like, how did you find this station? Why do you like this station so much? He said, because there's not a song that plays that I don't like, or I can't wait for the song to end. Like, I don't have to surf it here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shout out to the different, I get the, what do you call them? Where the radio stations play the different, it's not a district, it's something else. But shout out to New York for giving us old school hip hop,
Yeah, we need
station.
more of that. And honestly, I don't even listen to the radio anymore. That's what playlists are for. So my Spotify, my YouTube playlist, I get to hear what I want. I still be rocking Juicy like it just came out. Like, I am a true old school hip hop fan. And a lot of people will argue with me and say, well, Biggie and Jay-Z rapped about, being street pharmacists and selling narcotics, and they did, but they actually had talent. So the trade-off is fair. Like, yeah, their lyrics aren't the best, but there's talent there. So I kind of
Mhm.
still win a little bit. Whereas now y'all are talentless and your lyrics are stupid. So do what you want with that. I said what I said. I'm over 40, and so that's just how I feel about current music. But moving on. Alabama Brawl.
The birthday gift that I didn't know I needed. August 5th, 2023. Reparations on the Mississippi. Okay. So
History making moment. Wow.
My
Wow.
favorite. So the update is recently it was shared. It was posted that the infamous co-captain with the folding chair.
Yes.
He will not. Initially, they were like, "Oh, they just wanted to speak to him as a person of interest," and then he turned into getting arrested and all this. He will not be doing any jail time. So shout out to that. But yes, the Bama brawl, the birthday gift that I didn't know I needed. Phoenix was sitting there chilling, minding her business, and
Yes.
then this came across. I was like, "Say word."
Yeah.
So I think I might need to for my birthday in 2024 have me a little steamboat themed birthday party.
Listen, there were two people in particular that really blessed my heart coming out of that brawl. It was the little Aquaman.
Aquaman,
Aquaman, the fact that he swam to the fight and then just like and jumped out ready. Like my dude was sturdy. He was ready. He was like, nope, I don't need to understand what's happening. I see what I see. I'm ready. The other person to me though was the young man, and I meant to get his name, who had a t-shirt not even 3 hours after the brawl took. No, 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 no. That's a talent. When you, I mean, homeboy had the main photo across the chest of the t-shirt and posted it on Instagram, ready to sell and hustle. He was like, "Look, got these t-shirts. They $18. This is history. Who need one?" How did you get that so fast? Like, how did you? How,
because
sir?
he had a cricket in the house. Because
No, like, sir, like, how did you do that so damn fast? So I was really impressed with him. Like, I wanted to meet him. I know he wasn't a part of the brawl, but he was a spokesperson for the brawl, and I needed to shake his hand. So
he said
yeah,
he said somebody was going to capitalize off of this, and why not it be him?
why not be him? And I think we're going to be talking about this. I know media has this influence where things peak and then they kind of die back down. But I think this is something that this is one of those stories that we'll be talking about at Christmas, you know what I'm saying, and Thanksgiving and future family reunions. I think this is something our children are going to be passing down. Like, do y'all remember back in 2023 when such and
Listen,
such?
there I'm 40 great years old, and I have a handful of current event things that happen where it's like I know I'm going to be telling my grandchildren and my great grandchildren sitting in the rocking chair sipping on lemonade. I remember I'm gonna be Sophia from Golden Girls. Picture it, Mississippi, 2023.
Period. No, period. Seriously. Seriously. Like, it is unforgettable. Like, it is unforgettable. And it was a win. It really, and the thing is, it wasn't even a win because we whooped ass and dude fell out his Crocs. That wasn't even it. It was the unified ass whooping. Like, that's what did it for me. Like, we came together and was like, oh, I'm sorry, who's catching these hands? That's all I needed to see. It made me happy. It made me. I had joy
And,
down in my heart. Let's
and
jump to
all
the
we gotta
comments
say
real
with that,
quick. Huh?
amen, Ashe.
We're gonna jump in the comments, see who's still in us who's still with us in the building. We only got a couple of more months to cover, and then we are gonna get out y'all way. I got things to do. I gotta make sure my child is in the bed. Y'all know Maya, she'll try me. She be trying to stay up all night. All right, so let's see. Daisha says that made Montgomery proud. Isn't that where you live, Di? You live there, don't you? I think no, sir.
I wonder,
Neil
I
posted
wonder,
a
let's
chair.
see, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Let's see how many babies born in May gonna be named Montgomery.
But wait, why did Neil just post the chair? Like, that's it. Because that's all. Daisha says yes, she does. Yep, she does live there. She also says every time I go down to the riverfront now, I smile real big. No, you have to. You have to pay
Exactly.
homage to their ancestors by just smiling at the events that took place on that day. You have
Daisha, when I come see you, I'm gonna bring something to put on the altar for the ancestors for blessing them with that.
to. I don't know what Sean is responding to, but he gave us a ton of exclamations. So I'm assuming he is emphasizing something that was said. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Sierra says, sidebar, Jamie did his home so beautiful for the holiday. Gotta check it out. We gonna go check that out. Thank you, thank you. He says it was a complete disrespect to MLK. Are you talking about affirmative action? What we talking about?
I
This is
believe
why
so.
we gotta read these real time because I be missing opportunities to engage. All right, y'all. We just got a few more months and then we're getting out of your way. Thank you so much for sticking with us, hanging out for the evening for our last episode of the season 3. We stopped at September, right?
Now we're going into September.
That's what I mean. So the Crown Act, sis, tell them what that was.
So, in the Crown Act is a piece of legislation that passed that basically says that you cannot discriminate against a person because of their natural hair texture, aka our crown. Um, and so both Tima and I working in HR and corporate spaces, there has always been this image of what kept hair looks like for Black people. And that meant that didn't mean braids and twists or afros, locks, kinky curls, all of these things here. It meant that if you didn't get your hair slicked down and permed out, it needed to be pulled back up off of your face. And it also trickles down into different private schools and some public school systems throughout the country. We have had instances where athletes have had to cut their locks, or there was a young man who had to cut his locks or not wrestle. There was another instance where there was a young lady, I cannot remember her sport, but she had beads in her hair, and they literally had to like rip the beads out of her hair in order for them to for her to participate. And the reason that I bring this up is because it was just recently shared on social media. A mother whose frustration with her daughter's cheer team, I believe down in Maryland, the little girl was pulled, baby's no older than maybe 8 years old. The baby was pulled from the cheer line because of the way she was wearing her hair. And the mother went through like what the guidelines were that the little girl was supposed to be allowed to wear her hair, which was either up in a ponytail or half up, half down with, loose curls. And apparently the way that this baby's curls naturally grew from her head did not meet the standards for the cheer team, and they pulled this little baby off the cheer line. So even though this Crown Act was passed and you are not allowed to discriminate against a person because the way their hair naturally grows out of their head, it still happens. And it's a shame that a piece of legislation had to go forth and be put on record in order for us to wear our hair that way. So that's what went into effect in September.
Wow. And I remember old sitcoms like Living Single and Girlfriends where the issue of hair was an entire episode because that's how real it was, especially for those working in corporate spaces, how real it was for us to be discriminated against regarding our hair. I remember, there would be interviews, young men would go on interviews and the interviewer would ask, are you willing to cut off your locks and things like that? So it's one of those things that will always be an issue and a concern, even when society tells us we're okay with this, we're accepting this. Funny enough, they don't mind making money off of us with the products that we need to maintain those natural styles, but refusing to hire us or treat us fairly based on that. It's sickening. But I will say this: the mayor of Baltimore, he was sworn in with the whole afro. I was here for it. The new mayor of Philadelphia, sis, came with some twists and some nails longer than mine. So again, we are showing up in these spaces as ourselves, and they're just going to have to deal with it. So hopefully we'll see some more advancement and progression around that, but at least it was passed. That's a start. The other thing that happened in September that I love to brag about because I'm completely obsessed with this woman is The Garden Within. Dr. Anita Phillips released this amazing book, New York Times bestselling. Oh my gosh, this book is so amazing. So if you have not read it, if you did not download it on Audible, what are you doing with your life? Like, figure it out and get that book. The book has changed my entire perspective It's really blessed me in terms of understanding myself and God's original design for us in terms of mind, body, and spirit. It really teaches you the character of God instead of getting caught up on his pronouns. You really get to know his name. It is just amazing. The book is freaking amazing. So make sure that you're reading. You do not have to be religious. You do not have to be spiritual to appreciate the things that she's teaching. Yes, she references those things quite a bit in the book for understanding because that is her background. She is biblically sound. She believes in Bible doctrine, but her teachings in the book can be ingested and received from anybody, all walks of life. So definitely check that book out. It was released in September. She's been on Oprah since. She's been on Woman Evolve. She's done tours. She's done preaching and teaching in all different settings and cities because of the success of this book. It is an amazing read, and that happened in September. All right, we got to quickly get through these. All right, so October. October. Wow.
Simone, yes. Which one do you want? Because I could talk about either one. You take Simone. Take Simone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, if y'all remember in what was that 2021 was it the Olympics when she decided
she decided her mental health was more important.
Was priority, exactly. Mental health was her priority. She stepped away in the middle of the Olympics, decided to, of course, people say she abandoned the U.S. team, all this garbage. Media pretty much dragged her, no different than they did Sha'Carri Richardson. They really dragged Simone Biles for prioritizing self and self-care. Sis, she didn't let it get to her. Not only did she go off and get her a whole husband, she got married. And then she came back this year and broke all kinds of records, ones that she held prior, all other world records, and has become the most decorated gymnast in the world. Like, there is so much we can say there if we had more time, but I believe she was our sip and shine back in October. We did the sip and shine on her. And I for one am so proud of her because it is one thing when you do things for the accolades and the appreciation of people, and then there's another thing when you do it for yourself. I feel like she is the epitome of I'm doing this for me because she took the mental health break that she needed. She reset. She got her life together. And when I say got it together, not that she was all over the place, but meaning she got a husband and some goals, some personal things she wanted to do. And then she came back and was like, I'm sorry, what were y'all saying about me? I am indeed still the GOAT. You put some respect on that. So much love to her and all that she was able to accomplish in October and still doing. I mean, she's on commercials and all kinds of endorsements that she's won ever since. Like, she is just doing the damn thing. But most of all, she's happy. If I don't see nothing else from her Instagram page, it is her sheer joy and happiness. And I'm just so happy for her. I love that for her, as we say. So again, that was a dope thing going on in October. Now, sis, I know you the one you want to, girl. Let me
so I think we're gonna follow up with what we call the sober moment. Mm-hmm. And Jada Pinkett Smith released her memoir, and apparently it was the book that nobody asked for.
No.
So on top of, and here's the thing, up until she had this entanglement with Austin, I was team Will and Jada. Like, I love them. But now in this book, apparently, whoever we thought Will and Jada were, that was not who it is. And she decided that in telling her truth, she needed to shame Will.
Right.
And just throw shade and dirt on this man's name. And I just found the most interesting thing about this whole thing, because I did not read the book. This is coming strictly from her interviews and everything like that, is that her and Will have not been together in a marriage for years. Then please explain to me why y'all had this whole red table talk about the entanglement with Austin if y'all weren't in the marriage part of the relationship. Mm-hmm. But they won't divorce.
Right.
Like, they made this commitment to one another, and they won't divorce. And I guess I could see from Will, he had already divorced his first wife or whatever it is. So he might be like, listen, I said till death do me part, and I mean it. But from people who are in healing journeys, if this relationship is something that you need to heal from, you can't heal from it if you're in it.
Still in it, right? Right.
And so that's where it
Right.
lost me. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, she did an interview on Jay Shetty's podcast. Shout out to Jay Shetty. He's so dope. But anyway, she did an interview on his podcast and she explains why she won't divorce. She said it's personal, that she's not a quitter. She'd rather be a cheater than a quitter. Okay. So she's not a quitter, but to her, in her defense, she didn't cheat because they had an open marriage. So technically she's not an adulterer. She's just, you know, managing the options that she has as a woman in an open marriage. But she does explain that it's because she didn't want to quit on the marriage. She didn't want to break up the family. And also that Will Smith is the only person that knows her better than anyone else, which to me is a contradiction, because didn't you say the same thing about Tupac? I mean, make it make sense. Like she's just
So
all over the
here's,
place. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. I know people who, as a married couple, they were not compatible. Like,
Mhm.
but in their marriage, they had children, and they became the example of like, I can be friends with them. And
Right.
so maybe it is okay to hold on to the security of the relationship, the friendship part of the relationship,
Mhm.
without being in a marriage. Because here's what I have to say about that with this open relationship thing, right? When you are in an open relationship and it's messy, you're a it, it take a certain kind of person to come into that mess. If you get what I'm saying, like you're in
Mhm.
an open marriage and it's a messy marriage. Like
Mhm.
I gotta have some tough skin if I want to be with you or him, whichever one it is that I'm choosing to come in, because I'm coming into mess,
Mhm. Mhm.
and mess catches.
Yeah.
So
I just have personal views on open marriages. I feel like they are an excuse. I feel like an open marriage is the removal of accountability. I feel like it is the removal of self control. It's literally just saying, I know I don't have the self control to be loyal to just you, to
mhm.
only be married to you, but I don't want to lose you because selfishly, I don't want anyone else to truly have you. I want to make sure that you're my favorite option. That's what I take from, open marriages. Um, but look, if it works, good for them. I love that for them, as we all say.
I
I
what
just
I
think
say, you know how we say it. If they like it, I love it.
like, yeah, I couldn't personally do it because I'd be done jumped all over whomever. Like the minute you kiss my chocolate drop, just I can't. I know I don't know how to control. I so yeah, so it never work out for Tima. But if it works for you, this is my thing. If an open marriage works for you, then why so much pain and so much mess in your marriage? If an open marriage is to remove the complication and remove, you know what I'm saying, all the problems and challenges that regular marriages deal with infidelity and unfaithfulness, why the hell is your marriage still so messy? So clearly an open marriage don't fix a damn thing. It actually just puts a title on the mess. It just puts a gateway for the mess. And so I just think it's all stupid. I think it's all a lack of accountability and self-control. I think it's a lack of character and integrity. I think she just pretty much wants to be able to do what she wants to do, and I guess so does Will. But again, that's their business. One thing I do want to comment before we move forward, you said something about if they can't do the work in the marriage, why not just divorce? One thing I've learned having so many failed relationships in my life, y'all know I'm always transparent and honest. I've had 5 relationships my entire adult life, and all of them have failed, right? Including my marriage. One of the things that I've taken away from those experiences is there are certain parts of a person that can only heal under the construct of a relationship. And then there are certain parts that can only heal outside of it. So, what I mean by that is there are things that I have to heal individually on my own. No boo, no husband, no person, just Tima. But there are there are experiences that will prompt healing once I'm in a relationship. Because if my issue is communication and I don't get an opportunity to learn to communicate in a relationship, how then can I heal that if it's broken? If I don't get the opportunity to have to learn to communicate in a relationship. So I feel like that's
Exactly.
what they need. They need a therapist who can remove their celebrity, who can remove, who they are in media and who they are in Hollywood, and just look at two people and say, here's the parts of you that you need to heal individually. And then here's the
Mhm.
parts of you that you have to heal collectively. And I think if the two of them are willing and can do that, they can save their marriage. Because I don't think any marriage is beyond reconciliation unless there's abuse involved. And I stand on that. What y'all say, what's the saying now? I'm standing on business. I stand on that. I
Mhm.
believe that people do grow apart because usually one person is growing and not the other. But if you have two people growing, then where then does the marriage fail? If you have
Right.
one person who's unfaithful and the other one is not, then the marriage ends. But if you have two people who are faithful, the marriage doesn't fail. You get what I'm trying to say? So to me,
Okay.
there's no marriage beyond repair or reconciliation if both parties are aligned. That's the issue with marriages nowadays, the misalignment. We get
Right.
together because of lust. We get together because of infatuation. We get together because of clout. We get together because of sponsorship. We get together for all the wrong reasons. But when you have two people who are together because they're compatible, they have chemistry, they're connected, they have mutual respect and understanding, their goals are aligned, their principles and values are aligned, I don't see why it couldn't work. I'm not saying it would be perfect. No marriage is perfect because it's two different people trying to merge a life, a household, finances. You know what I'm saying? All these different
Yep.
character, personality. But if you're willing to do the work, this shit can work.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, the
Agreed.
next time I get married, there is two ways out of the marriage. Two. And both of them have to do with death. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. Like, and when I get married again, you not no.
I got you.
We're working through this thing. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say about Jada. I'm completely over her. All right, we are finally at November. Woo, this a big one in November.
We still feeling the ramifications of this one,
We
the
really
ripples, the
are. We really are.
aftershocks.
Yeah. Woo, so you want to take that one?
I'm just gonna say November was a month of people cleaning out closets and healing. And so Cassie came out and she sued Sean P. Diddy Combs for domestic physical and sexual abuse
Mm-hmm.
throughout their 10-year relationship. She alleged that there was inappropriate touching, uh, SA trafficking. It's just several things. I don't want to rattle them up because I'm not sure what will get us flagged and what won't get us flagged, but we all know what it is. And
Right.
then that settled within hours, like under 24 hours. I think it was 17 hours
19
from it
hours.
going public to a settlement.
It was
And now
19 hours. Yep.
there have been more women to come out with more accusations, and then it is, we spent a whole episode on this, and so I really don't have much else to say on it,
Yeah.
because it is triggering, and being that it's the holidays, I had a conversation with one of the diamonds recently, and it pertained to the fact that we had did our episode on sexual assault and domestic violence just before Thanksgiving, and they brought up the fact that it was triggering to have that conversation on Wednesday night and then show up on Thanksgiving and potentially like your abuser, because most women and men know who their abuser is intimately because it's a family member, it's a loved one. Um, And they said it was very triggering for us to have that conversation on Wednesday night and then to show up on Thanksgiving on Thursday evening for dinner and all that other stuff. And my thing was, is I respected what they were saying, but my response was, we have to stop allowing the abuser to still show up for Thanksgiving and Christmas and whatever holiday and birthday it is that goes on.
Yeah.
Stop making it okay for Uncle Bobo, who we know does no-nos to the kids, to keep coming to dinner. No, Uncle Bobo cannot come to dinner anymore.
At all.
Auntie Sue, they stop allowing the abusers to be. It's too normal. Can we normalize not having abusers in the home?
Right.
If it's their home, so be it. But abusers, no, you don't get to come to the holiday dinners and the parties and the celebrations anymore. No, keep your ass over there.
Period. No, I agree. I completely agree. Like you said, the fact that they settled the case in 19 hours after her public, accusation, clearly there was some irrefutable evidence, right? Clearly there was something that she had, a witness, a tape, a recording. She had something, okay, that was going to put his ass away. I think what bothered me most about the case is the immediate outrage and ridicule she received. Oh, she was just looking for a payout. She was just looking for a payday. It was all about a cash come up. All the ignorant things that we say. And again, this was coming from us. That's the other thing that pissed me off. It was coming from us, from our own community. If you've never been sexually assaulted, you have no idea how difficult it is to confront your accuser. And so I don't think it had anything to do with money. I think it literally had to do with what she said. She was ready to live her truth and own her truth and help others, because look at all the other women that came forth as a result. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm just waiting for Tubi to do the movie. I just want to see.
I got somebody at the door.
I just want to see Tubi do the movie. What Tubi gonna put out, about this case? But anyway, those are my views. I lost my co-host. Hopefully she's coming right back. But that is the last thing that we wanted to talk about in November. Here we are in December. It is the end of the year. It is already the middle of the month. We have 16 days left before the new year. And so the only thing we wanted to say for December is to make sure that you finish strong. Whatever is going on within you, around you, make sure that you finish the year strong. If there were goals that you had in January that you revisited in June, check them out now and see where you are as far as your goals are concerned. And remember, there's nothing too big or too small for you to accomplish. One of my biggest goals this year was putting myself first. I am a natural giver. I give to a fault. Like, I will give when I have nothing to give. I'll find something to give other people, and I gave myself nothing, and I was empty as a result. And so this year I promised myself that I would do better at preserving me and being the first to receive from my cup and only pour from my overflow. And I think I've done an amazing job at that. And I've done so well that I've attracted people who want to do for me, who don't want nothing from me, who aren't, they didn't come with their hand out. They don't ask to borrow money. They don't ask me to babysit their kids. They don't need me to write their resume. They not asking me to give them a discount on their book publishing. They just want to be in my life and celebrate me. And so I'm just so grateful for those small changes that I made in 2023. Did I have bigger goals? Yes, I was supposed to go to law school. Didn't happen for personal reasons. I was supposed to do so many things that just didn't happen. But when I check off the goals that I was able to accomplish, I'm like, you know what? It's been a damn good year. And I'm really, really happy. I'm really proud of myself for all the things that I've been able to accomplish in my business, in my personal life, my weight loss goals, just being a better mom, a better woman, a better believer, like just all the things that I'm doing. And so if that's you, if you had a goal, big or small, make sure that you revisit that before the 31st. Take a look at it and give yourself grace for the areas that you haven't changed yet, and give yourself gratitude, express gratitude for the things that you have accomplished. That is all that I have for December. That is my gym. Tiff, what about you?
Well, dang, you took it all away. No,
I'm sorry.
no, it was okay. I I am going to say, as of today, December 13th, if I look at my year in totality, the my year was on a straight like elevation. And then October came and it completely plummeted. And it took the wind out of me. And it took me looking at everything that happened and just really assessing what was good, what was bad, and realizing that it's all good. Like out of each of my failures, air quotes, disappointments, letdowns, and all of those things, it allowed me an opportunity to get something better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is, I cannot remember who said it, but there was a post on social media by a celebrity who basically said, if you're not willing to take a step back or downgrade for a year in order to be propelled into where your next level, you're too worried about what everybody else is thinking. And so that really hit home for me.
Yeah.
So I'm currently sitting in a cocoon stage. I am cocooning right now because my next release, the next time you see me, the next time it's going to be so much bigger and better than what I thought I had. And you know, Tima, I was on the phone crying with you in October, like, I can't do this. I feel like a fraud. How do I get up here every week? And I talk to the people and I can't even convince myself of what it is I'm trying to convince the people. And you were like, girl, if you need to sit down for a week, a month, a year, go ahead. But you're not walking away from this platform because your voice and your story is too powerful. What you
Powerful.
have to say is too important. There is somebody who is going through what you're going through, and they need to hear how you transverse to the other side. So go and do the inner work, go do the shadow work, go do all that other stuff. I promise you, your position is going to be here because can't nobody sit in the seat that's built for Phoenix.
Nope.
And so I was like, okay. And so that's where I was for a month, for 5 weeks. I think it was. I was not here with you guys. I was not on social media. I was not speaking to my family just because there was so much turmoil happening around me. I couldn't separate. But I'm slowly going to start coming out. And all I got to say is 2024 is going to be the year of the Phoenix.
Period. Period. The rise of the phoenix from the ashes. The rise of the phoenix. Like, look,
Yes.
I am so blessed. I hope that our gems and gents are blessed by that. That's true testimony. That's not fabricated, not embellished. That's real life story. And so I hope that that inspires you and encourages you. And make sure that you come back because there's so much in store for the Phoenix and so many other diamonds. You're going to start to see more faces on this platform. You're going to see more people, hear more voices, and of course, more topics. Again, we are so grateful to all of our faithful viewers, all of our gems and gents who support, who share, who like, who subscribe, who show up to the events, who purchase the books, who talk about us, who share our names, who tell other people about the work that we're trying to do over here. This work is not easy. I know the Phoenix and I and MV Pen and some of our other diamonds, we make it seem easy, but it's not. You don't hear us crying in the background when we are on our meetings and calls, begging God to bring some ease to what we're trying to build. But I promise you, when this thing is built and we have done the work, you all will be blessed and we will be breaking. Okay, we're taking a break. Okay, y'all can best believe we're going to take a break. But we promise to be back next year. Make sure that you hit us up on social media, hit us up on our website, send us messages, tell us what you want us to talk about. What do you want to hear? What will bring you back to this platform? What type of topics interest you most? And how can we pour into you and help you in your healing journey? That's what we want to do. So until next time and until next year, make sure that you continue to hustle
Hustle
and
and shine.
bye. Good night, folks. We out of here, Tim. That's it. We done. It's over. We are good to go.
Let's go. Let's go.